12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which we will find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberation of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless the participation is required by law. This meeting will, I guess, feature public comment. For this meeting, the Southborough Scholarship Committee is convened by Zoom as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public can join.
Actually, the public can't join this one. It's set up.
Oh, thank you, Sally. Okay, so public cannot join. Okay, the meetings be recorded. Please be aware that other folks can see you and be careful not to share. All supporting materials have been provided to the members of this body. And then, let me see, Mary, you have to do this. You as the chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude, the chair will go down in line with the members, inviting each to provide name, comment, etc.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
that should do it.
All right. So I'm just looking here. So Mary O'Brien, I'm the chair of the Southborough Scholarship Committee and here for the meeting. Isabel.
Hi, Isabel Murphy, member of the committee, here for the meeting.
Sally.
Sally Haggerty, member of the Scholarship Committee, here for the meeting.
Renee.
Renee Myrana, Southborough Scholarship Committee, here for the meeting.
And our newest member, Robin.
Hi, Robin Stewart, newest member to the Scholarship Committee, here for the meeting.
Okay. Is that all we have to do, Isabel, for the?
Yeah, now you have to, I think, just kind of
Open the meeting.
Open the meeting and start with, I guess, the minutes from the last one.
Right. So I propose to open the meeting at 6:37 on Thursday, April 9th, 2020. And so, yes, the minutes were posted.
No, I don't think any minutes were.
From the last meeting.
No, they should be pretty straightforward. All we did was plan the timeline, so.
Right. So do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
Well,
they have written first.
They have to be written first, yeah. Okay, so I don't know. So we can't really accept them then if they haven't been written.
No.
Okay, I'm just looking for the software. Okay, so can we start our new business?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sally, do you want to update us on the deadline right now is currently April 16th and the amount of scholarship applications that we have so far?
Yep. So far, obviously, there's some confusion about the townhouse being closed. So there were some students that were able to get their applications in, and they can still actually submit them by paper into the green mailbox, but there were only 3 that were submitted through, in paper. However, one of the guidance counselors, the Algonquin guidance counselor, sent me an electronic file that I actually had my husband open because I didn't want to view what the content was, but I did ask him to tell me how many applications were in that. So there were 10 applications in that file. So the way she set it up is she gave a folder for each of 10 students that includes their application and transcripts and that kind of thing. So
okay, so that means that Algonquin, they got their, the guidance counselors were eventually available to get all the applicants who emailed them. So they have their, so you have a whole file of just Algonquin applicants.
Yep, and then Vanessa, I just asked her which schools, I'm looking for her email, which schools came in paper. One of them was actually Holy Name, a student from Holy
Right.
Name.
One from, and one from St. John's, it looks like.
Yeah, so that, which was good. I mean, meaning that other schools also
Yeah.
are participating. So, yeah, so we have,
There
I
are
mean, that's
13 altogether.
13, and I think there was at least one more, someone who emailed me just the other night asking how they could submit it, and I told them to put it in the green box, because someone will be checking that outside of the townhouse.
Right. So, and we potentially could get more from Algonquin, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
We have
the
10 so far,
deadline
but
is 15.
deadline. Okay.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, have surprised that many, but so that's
Mm.
13 already, which is more than we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of free time.
Yeah, so are we sticking with the deadline?
That's one of the questions at hand is, you know, are we sticking with it, or are we still going through the process? Is there any reason, you know, not to go through the process? That's something we should all discuss, you know, and then funding is, you know, what do we have to give?
Right.
So,
What do people think? I mean, I've been doing this for a number of years. This is, I think the fact that we have applications means that, we have applications. So it means that we can probably proceed and keep the deadline where it is, because if people are able to get their applications in, I don't think we need to extend the deadline, because most schools are up and running. Most schools, guidance counselors are up and running. They can do things remotely. We haven't gotten those emergency emails saying, I can't get my transcript, I can't get my SAT scores, because everything's electronic now. So I think the question is, though, are we going to even do the scholarship this year? And we can, the scholarship process and award process. I mean, we have the applications. Are we going to do it? And how many are we going to give?
mm-hmm.
Well, can we, okay, are you moderating, Sally, so that we talk when you, I don't know how this, I know that in regular Zoom meetings, everybody's talking over each other, but you're not, okay. If we've already asked for applications, I mean, can we pull out midstream? I mean, it's kind of, I mean, we're already in the middle of the process, and they've
Right.
done the thing of, it's kind of a long process to do the application. They've got to write something.
I mean, I feel like we probably can do one. We probably can do one the Capital Group, Carol Harris, and maybe, I don't know, but it depends on, we have limited funds, one Southborough scholarship or one or two.
Yeah. I would say one scholarship at most, and it probably, because when we checked the funds, it was back in January.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was about $3,000 in the scholarship, but if you recall, we have to set aside 2,500 of that for the Capital Group. That still has to
Although
be.
they usually put their donation in May.
Well, remember you had explained previously there was a prior year where there was a donation that still has to be distributed.
True, because because we didn't do it in 15, and they did give in 15.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You're right.
So between that and then the funds are, a portion of those funds were held in the stock, there's a stock market impact. So my guess is that there's probably, I actually haven't asked Brian this, but I'm assuming there's pretty much nothing left for the extra in that fund other than the.
Right.
So clarification, my understanding was that although we didn't give in 15, there was still the money for the Capital Group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why Sally says, with our total balance of 3,000 or something, 2,500 of that is Capital Group that hasn't been given yet, which means that we have to allot, and yes, we're going to get 2,500 more, but that 2,500 right now, we can't really count on as Southborough scholarship money. It's Capital Group money that we probably need to owe. Like we need to probably give, eventually we'll need to give extra Capital Group scholarships, right? Is that correct, Sally, do you think?
Well, we would, assuming they will continue, that they'll give us something this year, which I don't know if we've had a chance to verify that they'll give us a check this year.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Billy DePietri yet. Usually see him, but I will email him, because I'm assuming that 2020 they will give, because it's the last year, but
right,
whether
and
they'll
then
give any further.
that have the money that's sitting in the account, if you will, would be distributed next year as the, you know, as the makeup year.
As a makeup year, right, exactly. So we'd have one more year, even if they don't renew their scholarship, we'd have one more year to give capital group scholarships, right? So, I mean, I think it's still reasonable. I mean, we may not have the big award ceremony that we normally have, but if we give a Carol Harris and 2 capital groups and that's still 4 scholarships, and you know, we could have the families just come up and I don't even know if we can do that. We probably can't do that. Actually, we probably won't end up doing that. We can, you know, we can maybe meet with them each, and or they can take a picture of their scholarship check and they can send it to us, and yeah. And we can all meet remotely like this for evaluation for the if we do the scholarship applications, we can do something like this, can't we, for the scholarship, you know, deciding on who's going to get a scholarship.
So the question, though, from a process perspective, one of the things, as you know, that we do is interview the students. So I don't know if that's something we would bypass this year. I mean, either bypass or it would have to be in the Zoom format. Right. My recommendation would be that we would not do the interviews, but that's for everyone to discuss.
I kind of agree that we don't need to do the interviews. I mean, I think that's an extra added thing that we do because we like to meet our applicants, but I don't think we need to, especially since we're giving only 4 out. I think we could probably, I don't know. What do you think, Renee? You've been here longer.
No, I don't think we should do. In fact, just to clarify, I don't think we are planning to not have the meeting, not have the presentation, right?
I think at this point now we're not going to be able to, because I personally, honestly think that we're going to end up not having school for the rest of the year. Yeah. The recommendations to keep, you know, the stay home recommendations are going to be prolonged till past May 4th and probably towards the end of May. So
I think so too. So I think that we probably will make that, because we don't have that much time actually left. So we make that decision like right now and say that, you know, we're not going to have the presentation award ceremony. In terms of, you know, Zooming with them with a, you know, like you said, there were so few, and I feel that when the kids come in for an interview, they almost feel like, okay, like I did really well, I'm going to get, you know what I mean? And we're giving so few scholarships that maybe this is a good year just not to do the interview.
Yeah, there will be a lot of kids this year that don't get scholarships who apply. When in the past, I mean, last year, I think everybody got one, right?
Well, yeah, we had, I think, 7 applicants, so.
Right, and then the year before, we you know, we gave out a lot. I think maybe there were a few that we didn't give, but for the most part, there have been years though that we have not given scholarships and we've sent them letters. Right, Renee? I mean, you remember there have been years we've sent letters to people, but this year, because there's going to be a number of students who don't get scholarships.
So I think so then we won't do the interviews. We'll take the scholarships and read them and let them know right up front that we're not doing interviews or we're not doing a presentation. Someone will send them. I don't know.
I think probably, I'm not sure how many of them think that, well, do we say on the application that there's an interview or no?
I think we say it may include, something like may include. There's nothing, I don't know if we would notify people that we're not interviewing them.
Look, just one thing, in looking at the Carol Harris, it does say all selected finalists must be interviewed in person by the selection committee, no exceptions.
Right, so we'll have to probably.
But I think this is exceptional.
This is an exception. This is an exception. I agree with you, Renee. This is an exception. Everything is an exception at this time now. So there are new laws, new rules being enacted day after day, multiply every day. So I think that would be, and we could say, just due to this, you know, the whole new coronavirus crisis, we are, you know, going to withdraw the need to have an in-person interview or a Zoom interview. I think that's fine.
I don't know. I guess I'm not really understanding like the laws or anything around this, but it would seem to be reasonable. And what's going on, you know, right now.
Yeah, I don't think we need to.
We have to post something that there's been a change.
Yeah, I think we would, right? Do you think we?
Isabel, where are you reading that about the Carol Harris? Because that's not what's on the website. Or is
Oh,
it in the,
I'm reading the, this I got from the meeting, our meeting last time.
Oh,
It's
me see.
yeah, Town of Southborough Carol Harris Memorial Capital Group Academic Scholarships for all applicants. Now,
Oh.
maybe this is the old one. I got it.
no, let me see. I'm looking, I'm just coming.
so it's the application?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it starts to all applications. The 1987, the Town of Southborough established a scholarship fund.
I'm looking, I have it here too as well. I'm not, oh, I'm just trying to see what that is. I might have another, maybe this is,
Well, this
I don't know, where, Isabel, can you show me where that, that,
Sure. So what I have is the first page is the letter dated February 2, 2020.
okay. You know, go ahead.
The second page is the cover sheet.
Oh, see, I don't have the cover sheet. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
this
cover sheet,
is the
okay.
application itself.
Yep,
Yeah,
the
to all
application-
applicants, to all applicants, say to all applicants.
That's the one. Fourth,
Yeah.
fourth paragraph, in order to be considered.
Okay, so that, oh, yes, yes, yes. In order to be considered for any of these scholarships, applications must arrive. I have must arrive at the townhouse no later than 11 o'clock, blah, blah. Also, like the final says, must be interviewed in person. This is not just Carol Harris. This is all the scholarships. It said all selected finalists must be interviewed in person by the selection committee, no exceptions. So we would just say, update it to the scholarship application process, ... colon, no, we actually are, discontinuing the need for, or the mandatory interview that is designated on the application. I don't think it's a big deal, Sally, is it?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the most recent scholarship one. I'm not seeing that on here, but that's.
So do you have the thing that says to all applicants? It's at the top is Town of Southborough, Carol Harris Memorial, Capital Group Academic, and Brendan Holmes Academic Scholarships. That's the title of the.
Apparently not. I was just looking what's on the website. It was the application.
Okay, yes, it's actually the first, like Isabel said, it's the first page of the actual application.
They gave
Well,
this to me.
It's
when
the
I went
second
to
page.
sign
The
it.
first page is like a check. The first page is just demographics, and it's last name, permanent address.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the same page as the little boxes with the checklists.
Yeah. But I don't see, maybe we updated that and,
Although Isabel has the 2021.
Yeah, hold on,
Right.
I'll get a quick legal opinion. So it's on an application, this is what was out there. It says all finalists have to be interviewed. Considering the state of the world right now, can we just post something that says, because of the state of the
Yeah.
world, we don't have to do interviews
I know,
anymore?
we will adjust that.
Yeah, we have to adjust it because that,
Couldn't
And we
you just
also
say
adjusted
suspending
we
it?
already adjusted the application deadline date. So now we can adjust the fact that we're actually, just discontinuing the interview. So I'm not worried about that. So
Conduct it remotely.
No, yeah,
You
yeah.
can reserve the right to waive it.
Oh, can we just waive it, just saying because of the world? Okay.
No reason why you couldn't do that.
Can you just say it's suspended for this year?
yeah, that would be what we would just say. We just suspend the interview process for the application, for the scholarship application this year.
Yes,
And it could be due to, we could have it electronically, but I think that we don't have to. Does everybody agree with that? Does everybody have any, I like interviewing the students. I love interviewing the students. It's great to interview because you get so much, it's such a rich, I love Renee's comments. Sell me this water bottle, I love it. But I don't think we're giving, and very, very few to none to no local scholarship, other scholarship applications require an interview. some of the bigger ones that are kind of more like county or regional ones do require an interview, but very few of the ones that are given at Algonquin or the required interview. We're one of the only ones I think at Algonquin that require an interview.
Yep.
And I think it's because it's our town. We have we're one of the only ones that have a nice ceremony. In addition to most of the scholarships are given out at the awards night, we give ours separately at a nice award ceremony, which probably for families, or for recipients, we probably wouldn't necessarily need to do. And we probably can't do because of the lockdown, so.
So I've been coached or counseled that if we're going to make the change to this application, we have to duly note it in the minutes since we are the town committee.
Yep.
So I have to ask for a,
propose it and you got to vote on it.
okay. So I propose that we suspend the interview process for the Southborough scholarship application process this year in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic and all of the restrictions that are being put on, getting together.
Mm-hmm.
Public gatherings.
Public gatherings like that. Yep.
Public gatherings.
Mhm.
All right.
Speaking
second
of minutes, is anyone taking minutes? I've made a few notes. I'll write something up and then you guys can add in the beginning, and now I'll be a little more faithful to the discussion.
Thanks.
That would be great.
Thank you, Renee.
So I think we probably have to vote on that, Mary. I think everyone has to go around and say if
Okay.
they agree with.
All
what
right.
you
So
did.
I'm going to cast my vote. I vote to suspend the application process.
Okay, and I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I think we all are in unanimous decision that we are going to suspend the interview process for the applications. Okay, so now we need to decide if now we're going to move forward. We have to wait till the deadline of the 16th. When are we going to then, after the 16th, and we have to, Vanessa said she would redact the scholarships, right?
Yeah. Well, she did when she thought that there were 3.
Right, right.
Now that there's actually at least 13, I can follow up with her just to make sure there's a resource available, because what you'll have to do is print them all out, redact them, scan them all, and then send us, a file that we can send out to the 5 of us. So we'll each get an electronic file. We won't get paper copies.
Sorry, who's Vanessa?
Vanessa Hale is the assistant town administrator.
Okay. Thank you.
So works in the townhouse, and normally there's a woman, Carol, who works with Vanessa, who in the past has helped us out with this process. She's been great, but I don't know given everybody's change of work hours and conditions, I don't know what the resources are that are available.
Right.
So I'll follow up with Vanessa to make sure that she or someone is available to do this.
Sally, have you spoken to Carol at all?
I did
for
send
so
her an
many years.
email.
Carol's
I sent
not
her an
been
email, but
working.
not checking. At that point, she was not checking her email, so she's working from home. I know that, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so then maybe she's not, just because she's done it for so long. And
Right, but
so-
they need access to their powerful copier to make all those, print out all those copies and scan everything. So it has to be someone that has access to the townhouse.
Yeah, that's fine, just as long as she somehow has been included in the conversation.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So that's a potential obstacle. So I will follow up with Vanessa, and if there's any reason we get any understanding that there's no one there to resource this process, then I'll get back with everyone as soon as possible. That would be
that would be a limiting factor if we weren't able to get
Yes.
the applications. And do we have to have them redacted?
That's a good question. I'm
not sure. Do we have to have them redacted? I mean, I'll be honest with you, for many years that I've done this process and the years that my kids haven't been involved, I knew half of the kids who were, their applications, even though their names weren't on them. So, I mean, did it matter to me? No. So does it matter? Do other, now, I don't know if there are other scholarship committees that do this process, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of them probably don't redact their scholarships. They just look at the student.
You know what? That's a great question, Mary, because that adds a very big level of complexity to this process. I personally, with older children, the odds of me even recognizing any names are probably 0% anyway. So I'm not worried about it. And I don't,
And to be honest with you, I knew a lot of the scholarship applicants, and I don't know, I don't think that I've ever said, oh, geez, I knew one very well who didn't get one. And I was like, you know what? He didn't make the grade, and I didn't say anything. I was like, I know exactly who this is. And I'm not, we went through the rubric as we normally did, and he just didn't make the grade. And I didn't say, listen, guys, I know this guy.
Right.
I understand that, but I think that just how it looks from the outside, if it's a blind process, it sounds better because not everybody knows us and knows that you would be fair and
Right, true. That is true. No, I mean, in an ideal world, it would be nice to have them totally be blind. I'm not denying that. I think that because, like I said, I've seen that most people, and I don't know all the applicants either when I don't know their name. Right, exactly. Even if I didn't know their name, it probably wouldn't mean anything to me, but if I didn't know them. But I think that you're right, Renee, that I agree that in a perfect world, but I'm just saying if we run into trouble, being able to that's a big process of having to white out everybody, their name is listed and you can see remember all the whiteouts of all the essays and all the letters and
it's a lot of work.
But we'll see what Vanessa says. Let's see what she says, and we can still continue the process. Not a lot of other stuff happens. Maybe they could do that, but if the townhouse is going to close though.
Well, that's the thing. The townhouse is closed now. Everyone is working from home, but there are still some people because there's still some people, a very few people that are accessing the townhouse because they have to get in to check that green, mailbox.
The green mailbox, right.
So,
so I mean, I guess let's circle back with Vanessa and see what she says about 13 applications and see what she says about that.
13 and potentially more because we
13
don't know.
and potentially more, right?
No, it's early yet.
Right, we still have another week and a half, really, or a week.
Most of them come in right at the end. So
right. Molly said to me tonight, Mommy, you're going to get 15, 10 more on the 15th. I'm like, Mom.
That doesn't bode well. I don't know.
So okay, and then so depending if we do say that the 16th is the date, and we can get that. And that being said, we have to give some time to get the scholarships, the applications redacted if they're going to be redacted. Then when do we schedule a meeting? Then we have to get them all copied and sent to us electronically.
Right. I know in the past it was at least a week of, you got to give at least a week for the redacting process. So again, that's a question I could ask Vanessa tomorrow as well. But
right. So I'm just looking at our timeline because I have my timeline here. So I mean, we have time because I don't think they're going to be back in school by the award ceremony. So they're in May, whatever that is, for the award ceremony at Algonquin. I don't have a lot of confidence that we're going back to school then. So,
I agree.
Which we then have a little bit of more leeway in terms of when we want to do the scholarship, when we want to decide, and we're not going to have the interviews. So we have a little more time to have the application decision process meeting, and then we don't have to have the interviews. So that cuts down a lot of extra meetings that be posted and the interviews. And so we have basically the rest of the month of April and all of May or at least the first 3 weeks in May to decide. So.
Right.
Okay.
And then, so I guess we need to just then, should we table meeting, or should we at least maybe try to schedule a potential application process meeting? Because that's the one that takes the longest to go through every application and decide.
Well, I think in the past we gave ourselves even a couple of weeks to review them all, read the essay, and
actually, I'm not. Laura in the past had made up that Google Classroom or whatever is grid that people could send their results to earlier.
Yep, and we did that last year, so I have that Excel sheet,
Good.
which I can send out, and everyone, it's a rating of 1 to 10, 1 to 10 on all the different aspects, and I think everyone filled that out last year.
So that makes the meeting itself go a lot faster if we have them, we have all those scores kind of, but we have to send, so do we decide who's going to do it? Because we only just generally need 4 people to do it. In the past, we've said that 4 people
Review I mean, it's probably up to, if there's anyone if Mary, you in particular, I know you're pretty busy with your work, if you.
I'd be happy to sit out, but again, I was there last year because I had to be there because of the quorum. I didn't actually participate in the voting, but I was there for the quorum.
So for Robin and I, could you back up a little bit and sort of tell us what the process is that you're talking about?
Sure. So there is it's a spreadsheet that
It's
lists
a rubric kind of
categories that we look at. So for example, we look at SAT scores, grades, review by the application, the person that's reviewing the applicant, the essay, work experience, volunteer experience. And we ask that each of the committee members, as you're reviewing the application, you would rank them how the applicant did on a scale of 1 to 10. And then you would fill out basically this Excel worksheet, and I kind of consolidated it all.
So there's no need assessment for the scholarship applications?
Yes, need is definitely one of the
Okay.
It's one of the EFC. You list your EFC, and we have like a 1 to 10 score for all of these. We have a 1 to 10 score for basically all of them: GPA, SAT/ACT score, EFC, family need, and then I don't know, 1 to 10 also for the essay, for the application. Whatever it is, the support letter or whatever, whoever writes the letter, either it's the guidance counselor or whatever. So we have a 1 to 10 grade for all of those. And obviously there are ones that are more objective, like the EFC and the SATs and the GPA. But then there's which I get trouble with, the interview. What do you give for the interview? What's the score if you give for the interview? What's the score that you give for their work schedule, their work or their volunteer or their activities? That's a little more nebulous kind of. But so that's what we do, and then we come up with a raw score for each applicant, and then we look at those scores. We kind of we rank them, and then we decide who we're going to interview.
Is there priority for kids who demonstrate greater need, or is it equal need versus merit?
It's always
there's a weighting, and that's one of the things we can talk about as a committee. So we have the different attributes, and then there's the weighting that we give to each of the attributes. They're not equal. I believe we gave the need a little more, but
that's not always been the case though, Sally. In the past, you may have done that last year, but in the past, and Renee, because you've done it a lot too. We have never kind of weighted any of the areas higher. Remind me, I don't think we have weighted any of the areas.
Because in the beginning, Mary, it was stressed that it was a merit scholarship.
Okay.
It was a merit scholarship and not a need-based scholarship. Now, we have talked in the past couple of years about changing that to give need more points in the rubric.
Yeah.
But capital group is still merit.
Capital group is merit.
Capital group is still merit. So capital group basically in the past, Robin, the 2 highest scores that we've received, after the interview process, after everything, receive the capital group scholarships. And then the Carol Harris is a separate one. Carol Harris goes to a student who is either going to go on to education or has participated in some kind of, there's a number of different criteria, and a lot of the students actually do fulfill the criteria if they've done any kind of like volunteer activity or work activity that has involved any kind of community service. To my knowledge, that counts too. So, town recreation, right.
But
Right.
look at.
So, yeah, that's kind of the way, we've used the rubric in the past. I don't know where the rubric is. I'm looking at I'm looking at my folder,
So
scurrying
in-
through my
in
folder,
the
and I
fine
think
print-
what happens is
Yeah, in the fine print, it says that the town scholarship and the capital group academic scholarship take into consideration academics, financial need, extracurricular, work and volunteer, as well as written expression.
Mhm.
So was it written with the capital group that it had to be the two top qualifiers based on merit?
What's on the town website, which describes the capital group, indicates that it's the highest, it's the applicants with the highest academic rankings. So if you go to that, which is been out on the
so
website.
right. This is actually, I have a copy of the one that we did probably 5 or 6 years ago, Renee, where we actually updated the description, and it said the capital group academic scholarships were established to be awarded to deserving town of Southborough students for academic excellence. So I don't know whether that has been amended since then, but that's what we actually had said. I'm looking up is that what you just read the most recent one, right, Sally, off the website?
Yeah, it says, in 2011, the capital group academic scholarship were established to award it to 2 town of Southborough students. Scholarship awards students with the highest academic standings of all applicants. And the scholarship uses the same criteria as the town scholarship.
Right. Yes.
Carol Harris uses the same criteria, but the applicant must have participated in gymnastics, plan to major in physical education or recreation, or have demonstrated active participation in a town recreation program. So that's the guidance we've been following.
Right.
For at least the past couple of years.
So I guess from here then, do we want to, because I guess we'll have to decide whether we can redact them or not, whether they're going to be redactable or not. And if so, then when can we decide that we can actually get them out to all the members to decide when we can potentially schedule a meeting for.
So Mary, I have a question on
ahead.
redacting. If we only need to have 4 people actually do the scholarships, can one of us do the redaction if we can't get it done in the townhouse, if someone won't do it? Could one of us just take all of the things and, a person who's not doing the interviewing, because we have 5 people.
Definitely a possibility.
I mean,
Yeah.
It would be nice to, Vanessa would do it.
Right.
But
Yeah, there's no reason that she has to.
there's no reason that she has, we do have 5, so,
But someone who has to have access or the ability to access either a high speed or a high volume
Copy.
printer.
printer, yeah,
Because you're talking lots and lots of,
pages, yeah.
pages. It's probably at least 10 pages per application, and multiply that times at least 13. So
They're all coming in paper. There's no online applications coming in.
no, they came in online, but they have to be printed out in order to be redacted.
Do they really?
You have to, you can whiteout. Can you do whiteout? There must be some kind of whiteout.
Well, I don't know what the PDF comes in as. I mean, you can edit any PDF. You can take a name out. You can
Yeah, if you can.
change PDFs all the time. You just change dates and names and whatever.
You just have to retain an original to
Yes.
confirm that that's the student,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
so you would create a copy and you.
Yeah, there must
would,
be some kind of whiteout phenomenon on the to do editing a PDF. I'm
yeah.
assuming.
I think you probably could do anything with, the only thing is I know that it works on most, because I edit PDFs all the time. People send them, they say, well, we just want to make a couple changes, just edit on PDF. Don't go back to, in design file. But I have really up to date. If you have something that's really an old version of Acrobat PDF, it might not have that function to edit it. I don't know. But it is, very easy on, and that would be, it's very quick.
So, all right, so do we want to try to schedule, you think, a date, or should we wait until, because Sally, we can do emails and we can, you know, obviously this meeting was set up in 2 days, so which is nice because
Yeah, we don't have to reserve a room.
we don't have the location, right? We don't have to reserve a
Right.
location, and we can, well, I assume we'll have to do the process this way as well.
Yes.
We'll have to do this way. So we just have to make sure we get the rubric, the spreadsheet out to everybody.
Yeah,
Is that on the
I
Google?
send what I have from last year.
Yeah, that must be on the Google. Do we still have, I'm gonna access if I can find the Google documents site
be.
for the Southborough Scholarship.
Yeah.
Because that's helpful.
It closed, would it? I mean, we probably still have that. I'll look for it too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used it. in
I
so
I think I have it on my Google Documents. I think I have it on my Google Docs. So I just have to kind of look and see. I haven't accessed it in a while, so I've just look and see. I know that I got I did get the application, the most recent application from the Google Doc. So I know that it's, I just don't know if I saw the rubric, but it must be there. It must be there. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on my iPad right now, so I'm gonna wait till I get back to my computer because I don't think I can access from my iPad. So, but then we can decide then if we have to first decide whether we can redact them or not. And then if they're not, if Vanessa can't, then whether one of us can redact them, and then we can figure out when we can actually get them out to everybody, and then we can then we can email and schedule a meeting for the actually process itself. But
So
first, I guess we do have to email or let Tom know, or whoever know that we're going to addend and admit the interview now. And that has to be posted, doesn't it have to be posted?
Well, I can, I'll do a write-up similar to what I did with the change of the date. I'll, and then ask, it's actually Vanessa, yeah, I guess it's Tom or Vanessa who could put it up online.
On the website. Okay.
I'll take that action item.
And so Vanessa doesn't know about the 10 applications yet?
No.
Okay. So do you want me to email her and let her know that there's also 10 now from Algonquin, or who's that email came into you, Sally?
Came in from
the
Jen,
guidance counselor.
the counselor. She didn't, I think, again, because there was confusion about the townhouse being closed, and so she sent me that file. Yeah, no, I had Mary, I was gonna, I had an action item to follow up with Vanessa about the resourcing, so.
Okay.
I can take care of that.
Okay, great. All right. So I guess we can adjourn then for now and decide once we have all the other answers to the application, the question, whether we're gonna redact them, she's gonna redact them or not, and then we can decide on a date. Because the next thing would be to get this applications out to us electronically, redacted applications out to us electronically, and then we usually give like 2 or 3 weeks for review, right? Last year we were under a little bit more of a we actually were under a little bit more of a pressure in terms of the interview process and deciding. We actually still had enough time to do the review for the scholarships. And then again, once we had that application process meeting, decision process meeting, we don't have to rush because we're not going to have interviews. So we'll have some time then to decide who's going to get the scholarship and notify the guidance counselor. Because I'm not sure what they're going to do. You know, we don't know yet. We don't know yet what's happening. So
I don't know.
Is there anything else then?
One other thing that, maybe we could set this now so that we have a meeting that's just devoted to fundraising, what we're going to do for fundraising in the coming year. So maybe we could just kind of come up with like a date in June or something that we could.
We could, after the process, after the scholarship process.
Because I think the process is going to be simpler without the, without having to do the interviews and without having to do the presentation and all it takes for that. I mean, it's simplified a little bit, but we really do need to talk about, fundraising.
That's fine with me. I'm up for anything. again, we probably all don't know whether we're gonna be everybody's gonna be back at work fully or not, or traveling, because Isabel, you're not traveling right now, right?
Oh, no.
No.
Right.
Well,
So,
between the bedroom and the kitchen and God knows.
by traveling.
Yeah, right.
So we could set a date if you wanted to for June. I don't, again, we could, or we could just keep in the back of our mind, Renee, now that that's after the scholarship is over, we
That-
should
I
think
think
about a
that's
June
fun.
meeting be
Yeah,
devoted to
yeah,
fundraising,
and
which I
that's
think is
fine. I don't
fine.
think we need to set a date, but just
Yeah.
to really keep that, we absolutely have to do this before summer.
Before we go for the summer, we should probably set a meeting in June just to talk about
Right.
ideas for fundraising. Yeah. Yep. And we might actually have another member by then. I guess there's another guy in the pipeline, Matt Berger, but I guess I don't know whether he actually got fully sworn in because of the whole, shutdown. He's one, Vanessa emailed me and said he's applied, and I was like, great, he sounds great, whatever. And I know him, and but I haven't heard anything more about him, probably because everything's been closed down since then. So we might have another person eventually. So that would be good.
Great.
So, all right. So do I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:20 p.m.? Anybody second the motion? Okay, good. All right, so the meeting has been adjourned on 7/21 on April 9th, 2020. All right, thank you, everybody. Yep, we'll be back, and so we'll be back in touch with it via email.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Robin, for joining us.
Thanks.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye, everybody.